year, some students from Vermont were given the opportunity to join a first-year class. This class was to make a video on a unique aspect of their community. The 3 communities that joined this had high school students from People's Academy, Thetford Academy, and Cabot High School. The course goal for all 3 schools was to build leadership skills through producing and premiering a video on the past, present, and future of some unique aspect of the community.
Team building was a big part of this video and the process, and we had to explore and practice how to be an effective production team.
Here, you have all your weight on Rob.
And while he was relaxing,
we did some activities through retreats, we did night walks, all different things that would help us become a productive team so we could get a lot done in the little time we had.
It's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be in the beginning, I guess, but all in all, I think I really learned a lot about teamwork, I guess, because this can't be done by yourself, and there's so many things that actually go into this that we need to work about as a team. And
there's definitely times where we're all kind of fed up with each other and can't stand another opinion of someone who looks totally different on something than you do. But, you know, you get over it, you come back to school the next day and everything's okay. And
it's such a complicated process. Just all the gathering and coordinating and working together, you really gotta be getting along with your group or it's not gonna work.
I've learned how to deal with people a lot more. I mean, I'm kind of shy, that's just sort of my nature, but in this class you can't be. I've had to take a lot of risks with that.
Suddenly kids are put in a situation where they don't actually control any of it. They have to just sort of try to figure it out, and you know, as a teacher you sort of help them anticipate whatever problems they might come across, but there's always problems and hurdles and stuff they have to persevere through that's different than what you thought they might have to. And so that's all like real life learning, and that's what's valuable in life.
The purple is how much time we spent deciding what to do. Okay. The orange is how much time we spent executing the interviews and other filming. The green is how much time we spent making the movie. And the blue is the frustration with time constraints and each other that was throughout all of it. But there wasn't really that much, just a little bit. Not with each other. It took us like 3 months to decide we were gonna do the creamery. Like at first, I don't know what we were thinking. If we were just gonna like look at the entire town of Cabot in the past, present, and future, which wouldn't have made any sense, but I don't know what we were thinking at the beginning. And then we came up with the creamery.
Just getting started. I mean, it feels like for the first 5 months of this I don't think I've been there for 5 months, but for like the first 5 weeks, we were just, you know, doing nothing. We didn't seem to make any progress. It was just sort of like, oh.
Even though they were floundering around a bit and felt like they weren't getting anything done, I think they really were working through some things that just had to be worked through at that particular time. They may not have been as productive as they thought they would have in comparison with their other coursework. If they'd had their way all mapped out for them, that maybe have been more productive, but it wouldn't have been as creative, and it wouldn't have been so much their pilgrimage.
And then community.
Yeah, and community was key throughout the entire process. Then we're supposed to make a story.
And on 1 or 2 occasions, a student would have to say to me, "Mr. Book, this is our project. Back off," essentially. And it didn't take me but about twice to hear that, to realize that this is great, this is what I want, this is the best thing.
All of you showed leadership roles at one time or another. There wasn't one single person that you could say, this is definitely the leader of our group. Ellen tended to be that to a degree, Sam to a degree, DJ to a degree, but still everybody at one time or another said, hey, wait a minute.
We're all kind of leaders in like different sections.
Yes.
I thought, because we.
So we spent a lot of time doing research and gathering information from community members.
We started researching like the history for the past and the present. People took tours.
We ran focus groups with community members from our town that we thought were knowledgeable and could give us a lot of useful information.
Do farms in Cabot depend on the creamery?
Yeah, no one I know brings their milk to the creamery.
Lawton, Hardwick, Callis. I don't know about Plainfield anymore.
What role do you think the creamery will play in the future of Cabot?
I know that folks who come into town and visit different stores and the school and the church and the creamery, they tend to want to move in to Cabot. So I think everything that we have here in town creates growth.
I think I've become a little bit more confident around people because, like, I'm okay with people I know, but like other people I was kind of nervous, especially doing the focus groups with so many people concentrating on me at one time. It was kind of difficult.
We had to become really clear of the focus of the video, and so we would know like later what we needed to edit out or what we could keep. We had to decide what would be important to our community and what was important to us as students. So we had to incorporate like how we feel and how our viewers would feel on the topic.
Yeah, it's Thetford's agricultural past, present, and future, sort of how it's developed over time. And like we'll be using pictures from the Historical Society to really demonstrate, you know, how the land has changed, how it looked then and now, and the people are, of course, great resources.
I've just learned more about the history, about like how it started, why it started, and just a lot of personal stories, like all those little personal stories that you wouldn't normally hear by reading in like a history book or something.
How's it been working with the technology? You know, you're learning cameras.
It's amazing. It's just so mind-boggling. I had no idea that you could do all this stuff down here today. It was just incredible. It's a great experience. I think I'll definitely use the skills later on in life.
What's your favorite thing to do in the process?
Probably adding effects and making it look, you know, nice, and just different things that you can do on there. I think it's really awesome what you can do to film.
Like a week and a day before our movie was supposed to be done, we captured everything, didn't save twice, lost it all twice, and in like 5 hours accomplished absolutely nothing. So
we've been able to get a lot of footage through splitting up into groups of 2, going around filming different B-roll of the town, the creamery.
A lot of the work is done outside the class. The class time is really spent briefly going over what we just had accomplished and really trying to think about what we can do next and how to go about that.
all right, I'm with someone who knows something about editing.
We're logging our videos.
We're logging tapes of B-roll that we took. Right now we're doing the tour we took of the creamery.
They're in here somewhere. Nice, Rod.
An idea, I can show you the numbers. I can have a piece of paper in front of me and actually show you the numbers if you're interested.
I don't even need visitors to walk into that door. So now we're good. We can drive the camera with the computer. So let's rewind a little bit. Okay, so it's playing now, so let's stop. That's fine, you just stopped it.
It seemed like the filming part took a lot longer than I expected, but the editing seemed to, once we had everything inputted into the computer, it seemed to go pretty quickly.
Learned a lot about technology myself. I think technology is going to become more and more a tool that all teachers are going to have to master to a degree. Yes, there were some parents there, but there were a lot of people at that showing that were not parents, that were just members of the community at large. and were there to support what the kids had undertaken.
This small rural village is home to the world-famous Cabot Creamery.
You say Cabot cheese anywhere in the country, people know, and they say Cabot, Vermont.
I'm a little nervous about showing the community. I'm not really sure how they'll take it, view it, you know, everything that can go on in someone's mind. I think that I'm excited to show it, just to get it out there, but at the same time, I'm very nervous that someone isn't going to accept it or like it or be happy with it.
I thought was exceptional.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was really of the plant and manufacturing process. Better than their own.
I thought it was pretty amazing. I didn't realize what a big influence Cabot Creamery had on the town, and it was just really amazing.
Thank you.
Even though I've lived here for 20 years, that was the first time I've actually seen the process.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, me too, but I haven't lived here for 20 years.
So what did you agree with in the film?
I would agree with the relationship between the community and the company.
Yeah.
I think the company's been very supportive of the community. The community takes great pride in having the company here.
Do you think that the kids in town understand the importance of the creamery?
They know it's there and they know they get stuff from it, but they don't really know how much it actually does to help the town. Like without the creamery, like I don't know how much of a town there would be, if any. And I don't know how many kids really understand that.
Okay, our group was surprised by a lot of the facts about the creamery, and they liked how we examined the relationship between the creamery and the community. We had a very small group, but they liked it, and we said they thought there wasn't much negative in the movie, but they thought that was good because everyone agreed that the creamery is much more positive towards the community than negative, and that we wouldn't be able, or we wouldn't want to live without it.
We've been given this idea, this project to do, and we've worked on it, we've gotten all our information, and finally it's in a tangible product that we can have and show to people and say, this is what we did, this is what we worked for, and now it's done and it looks good. And I feel very proud to be able to hold something and say, this is what I worked on all year. You know, thank you for your help, thank you for your support, and look what we did with it.
We then took our video to a statewide conference, and we told many children and people who were at the conference what we learned from our video, and we showed them part of it.
First, we encountered a lack of focus. Next was time constraints. Soon to follow, confusion and procrastination. Eventually, we got to the fun and humorous part. Then reality hit us with our time constraints once again. Time management became essential, cooperation followed, teamwork, and then finally organization for our final product.
Just tremendous confidence, you know, in their ability when they finally put it all together and saw the finished product. You know, that's that hallelujah moment. You know, you could see how all of them were very proud and pleased and were very happy that they'd stuck with it throughout the whole duration.
I think this isn't really about making a video, even though the video is a great product of this process. I think it's more a learning process of how to make a video.
That people have a lot of different views that you really have to work with. I mean, some people's ideas, what I think might be off the wall, really when you think about them and work with those people, that they're not that off the wall, and they can be kind of an interesting twist and kind of a new way at looking at things.
I think it was just a good experience for me to work with people and work with a team and to actually do something beyond my schoolwork. I just think not a lot of students get to have that experience, and some of my friends were really interested in it and they wanted to see if they could do it at some point too.
You have to listen to everyone to be a leader. You can't just say, you know, look, I'm a leader, so do this. You've got to be a successful leader, you have to include everyone.
I have actually learned more because I can't read a book and then do it. I can't listen to someone and then do it. What I've been doing was just figuring stuff out on my own, and it's, the way I work. I don't like sitting down, listening to people talk. I like getting out there and doing things myself.
You're working towards a general goal, whereas in a classroom, you're just learning what the teacher wants you to learn, but we're working together to make this video that we want, and I think that really helps me stay motivated and excited about the result.
It seems like when your teacher says read chapter 9 and take notes, that you read it and you read what someone else has done, and it's kind of like learning in a stereotypical way. You kind of go off other people's knowledge. It just seems like you can develop your own opinion, and you're not relying on what someone else has told you is the case. You're kind of finding out for yourself.
Reinforce the whole idea of place-based learning and hands-on learning and giving students a larger role in their learning. Because bottom line is we all have to be responsible for our own learning. I can't learn them nothing.
So I think the really cool thing about having kids learn in the community and do things like that is that Griffin and John ran into so many problems and so many hurdles in the course of this project, and they learned a lot, and I learned a lot from it. And what I really realized is that if you give kids an opportunity to go out into the world and do something, and you get out of their way and let them try, let them do what they need to do, let them figure it out, they can do amazing things. And these kids did. They did amazing things.
There was something quite special that happened in this project that to me was very clear in the voice of the students relating what they learned. And I think it was because 6 key aspects of learning and ways of learning came together at one time. And to me, the vision is a pinwheel. And the spokes on that pinwheel are represent things that often are polarized, or there's tension that exists between them in our normal world. One spoke, for instance, is youth and adults. And together in this project, they came together in a very respectful, genuine, and exciting way in behalf of their community. Another spoke is school and community, too often seen as separate but came together as one. And the third spoke is place-based learning. Young people learning outside the classroom in their communities, as too often opposed to standardized testing or what's felt to be an effort that has academic integrity. And so in this project, instead of keeping those same things separate, instead of letting the tension define them, what we did was blur them and bring them together in a way that created a synergy. I think you get a lasting experience for young people that will not be forgotten when they close the last page of their tests, but will live in their lives for many years in many different ways.
Great, whenever you're ready.
Okay, last spring, hello. We're trying to work here. Now I've lost it.